to the MindShift Show, turning mindsets into ICAN. I am your host, Pamela E. Bloomfield, your certified transformational life coach. I help professional women over 40 who have everything else figured out except themselves so they can stop performing success, unbury their purpose, and start living it from the inside out. I am so glad you're here today. Wherever you are, whether you're on a walk, sitting in your car, or taking 5 minutes just for yourself, I want you to know this time is yours. You showed up, and that's what matters. So today we're talking about something that I know lives deep down in the heart of almost every woman listening. The story of not being ready. I want you to meet someone. I'm going to call her Michelle to preserve confidentiality. And I'll tell you her story. Michelle is 51. She's sharp. She's accomplished. She has built a career that most people would look at and call successful. She's the woman everyone comes to when they need something done. But for the last 3 years, Michelle has had a quiet feeling she can't quite shake. A feeling that something is missing, that she's been busy managing her life. She hasn't actually been living it. That somewhere between meetings and the responsibilities and the never ending to do list, she lost the thread back to herself. And here's the thing about Michelle, she knows she wants something different. She can feel it. She thinks about it at night when the house is quiet and everyone else is asleep. But every time she gets close to doing something, she hears a voice, a very familiar voice that whispers, I'm not ready yet. Maybe after the next project wraps up. Maybe when the kids are more settled. Maybe when things calm down at work. Maybe when I have more time. Maybe when I feel stronger. And so Michelle waits. And the months pass. And the feeling stays. Does that sound familiar? Does any of that sound familiar? Here's what I want to say to Michelle and to you if you're feeling like Michelle today. Not ready is not a fact. It is a feeling. And feelings, although real and valid, are not always telling the truth. Not ready is the story we tell ourselves to keep ourselves safe, to protect us from discomfort of change, from the vulnerability of beginning something new, from the risk of hoping again. And I understand that. I truly do. Because I walked in Michelle's shoes too. Knew I could be more, knew that I could do more, but fear dominated. I felt scared to begin my quest towards my purpose. Because beginning something, really beginning something, means admitting that something needs to change. And for women who have held everything together for so long, That admission can feel enormous. I get it. But here's what I want you to know. Because here's what I've found out to be true after years of working with women just like Michelle. The waiting doesn't make you more ready. It just makes the gap between where you are and where you want to be feel wider. Readiness is not something that arrives one morning like the sun coming through the window. Readiness is something you build. One honest conversation, one small courageous step, one decision at a time. So today I want to offer you a shift. Instead of asking yourself, am I ready? I want you to ask yourself this. What is not being ready costing me? Sit with that for a moment. What has waiting already cost you in joy, in peace, in the version of yourself you've been putting off meeting? Because here's the reframe I want you to lean into and carry today. You do not need to be ready to begin. You just need to be willing, right? Willing to take one step, willing to have one honest conversation, willing to say out loud, just to yourself, I think it might be time. That willingness, that is where everything starts. That is the real mind shift. And so, Michelle, the woman I described at the beginning of this episode, she's not one woman. She is the number of women I've had the privilege of sitting with. Women who finally took one small step, and women who look back now and say, I wish I had started sooner. Not because the journey was easy, but because they finally felt like themselves again. And that is available to you too. You don't need to have it all figured out now. You don't need a plan. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to begin. So if today's episode stirred something in you, you know, that quiet feeling in your chest that says, this is me, I want you to honor that feeling. Don't scroll past it. Don't file it away for later. And I also want you to know that my DMs are always open. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation with someone who actually listens and understands, and who believes the future you've been waiting for is still very much available to you. And remember, not ready is often just the story we tell ourselves to keep us from beginning. Take that first step. I will be here waiting just for you. So thank you for spending this time with me today on the MindShift Show. If this episode resonated, please share it with a woman in your life who needs to hear it. Remember, my DM is open. Just click away and type the word next. Until next time, take care of yourself. You deserve it.